Okay, there's a lot of videos that address this topic that go, basically that take their time. We're going to try to hammer it down in the shortest amount of time. Difference between vegetarianism and veganism. Well, first of all, in a subjective way, I think veganism is the only true vegetarianism. But to be precise, in the modern context, basically vegetarian is defined essentially as, people who essentially don't, partake in eating of animal flesh, but vegetarians will often partake of eating of animal byproducts. For example, milk and butter, dairy. I don't know. I'm a little unclear about whether if people consume egg, can they still be classed? Are you still vegetarian? But basically, in a generic context, there's something called lacto-vegetarian where, basically one abstains from meat, but, they can consume milk, butter, also known as ghee. So vegan simply means pure, pure vegetarianism. It just means no animal byproduct. This is so simple, folks. Animal byproduct, milk, cheese, butter. Okay, this is so simple, so simple. No eggs in the bread, no eggs, no dairy. So simple. Pure vegan, meat-free, animal byproduct free. This is so simple. What is a little less simple? So basically, if you're adhering to certain practices, especially in the dharmic Vedic tradition of Mahabharata or India. So basically, one can have a sattvic diet and yet be lacto-vegetarian. So we're addressing now the religious nuance. So what is sattvic, tamasic, rajasic? Vegan, vegetarian, vegan fare doesn't automatically satisfy the religious principle of a sattvic diet. For example, you can have extremely spicy, extremely minced, spicy, out of the world spice level, out of the world. You can have, onion, spice, all of that stuff. So you can have pure vegetarian vegan fare that's not, sattvic. That could indeed be rajasic. But to me, the key thing is that the reason why, I basically I think what is more the important question here is not whether or not my vegan fare is sattvic or rajasic. I think it's perfectly fine for the spice level to be off the off the roof. The only ethical equation is not. I don't see it like this. Okay, is my vegan diet going to be conducive to spiritual growth? Is it of a sattvic quality? Basically those three modes, the Rajasic, Tamasic, Sattvic natures. What is important with the vegan diet is simply that you're not partaking in animal suffering. You're not eating meat. You're not partaking in animal byproducts, because people can make the argument, right? Basically, is dairy natural? Is it natural for people to keep animals, to raise animals for the purposes of consuming, basically consuming an animal byproduct that's not even meant for human, in terms of whatever evolution? The milk of a cow, it's not meant, it's meant for the baby cow, or the baby calf, male, the baby cow, baby calf, whatever. You get the idea. So the point is, so we just want to break down, vegetarianism is different from vegan, and vegan is not necessarily sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. So the religious component is not necessarily anything to do with the ethical component of basically abstaining from, to not partake in the suffering and abuse of animals. It's that simple. To be vegan means you refuse to partake, to be a participant in the abuse and suffering and misery and slaughter of animals. That's all.